Hello, hi everybody. Big Kahuna here. First time I'm coming at you from 2020. It's already March. Can you already believe that already? We're spring break next week. We got a whole lot going on, so let's get started. So, welcome to the first ever episode of Kahuna Korner. This is going to definitely be a huge work in progress, and we're going to see what we're going to do from here. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that's been with me and a part of my life for the last couple of years that has led me to this moment right here. I've definitely learned a lot from most of you, whether it be good things or bad things. I know I've definitely done, the hard way on a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I know I've done a lot of good stuff, and I do everything I can to help everyone. So we're going to continue that tradition, and I'm going to continue to grow myself. There's always room for improvement, and just growth, whether it be on my professional level, my family level, my personal level, just as a human being, and I'm going to continue to grow that. So it's definitely been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of cool people, and again, we've just learned so much lately. So these videos are going to be a little different on how we run things, and I promise you, I'm always going to be live. I'm always going to be a real person. And we're just going to have a lot of fun doing this. So join me on this adventure, and let's just get started. So, as I said before, we've had a lot of fun in the last couple of years. It's definitely been some major growth that I really didn't think was possible, and that's largely due to some of the people that I've surrounded myself with. And unfortunately, as a lot of you know, there wasn't always a great fit with people who have been with me, but I'm taking that all as a positive experience, and I'm going to continue to grow who I am as a person, because again, it's not always about what you do know. A lot of times it's about what you know what not to do, and so we're going to continue to grow on that tradition. Like I said, we had a lot of fun the last couple of years. I was fortunate enough to do something really big, and I'm super proud of. Is I got to take my family to Disney World. I'll tell you what, one of the most memorable things in my life is definitely being able to do that. I took my daughter in. Really, it was all about her, and she got to go see Disney because princesses are her thing, and it was wonderful with that. But what was really nice is we rode the 17 hours, and we stayed the night somewhere before we got to Disney the next day. So we really had a nice, relaxing time to get into there. And so the next day we get there, and we finally eat some lunch, and then we get to Disney. We pull up to the place, and we stayed in the Animal Kingdom. We had a really cool view, overlooking the animals and everything like that. It's like we went all out on this adventure because we knew that it could possibly be the only time we ever went. But a truly humbling experience for me was being able to go inside with my daughter, Emma. As you'll get to know my family, I'm sure, through all these videos. But I got to go in with her. We checked into the hotel, which, again, Disney. I'm a huge fan. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of Disney and how they run their operations. So much that I keep trying to get people to go and do the Disney Institute, as I was so lucky to have done through my previous work experience. So much that I'm recommending trying to get Karen Van Holt in a Monarch title. I'm trying to get her to take her team, or at least head there herself, and enjoy that experience. Anyway, going back to my story, I get off topic sometimes. I walk into the Disney, and we check in. Great experience. It's magical moments of just looking around and seeing my daughter walk around, Emma, and having just wow. She's just absolutely shock and awe. She doesn't really even know what she's in for yet. So that was pretty cool. We get us checked in, and when I parked out front, right directly outside the front doors, and I come out, and my wife's gonna kill me for telling this part of the story, but it truly is the humbling moment for me as a father, as a husband, as just a human being in general, because Disney's that magical thing that everyone always wants to do. We want to take our kids, we want to go have fun, we want to do that. Well, I got to do that, like I said, and I come out of the building, I walk up to the car, and I left Eric, my son, and Kim in the car. And we get in the car, and as I'm walking up, I see Kim's crying, and I'm like, "What is going on?" For her, that was one of those moments where she really never thought she would ever get to that point. So it was just, for her, it was an overwhelming emotional experience. So of course, from that point, Emma gets teary eyed, and she's all worried why her mom's crying, but really, it was all just really a big emotional experience for everybody. And we hadn't even got into the park yet. We hadn't even gotten everybody into the hotel yet, but it was already just that emotional experience, just having pulled up and realizing that it was a reality and something fun was about to happen. So that was my absolute most humbling experience the last few years and throughout my real estate career, was finally reaching a point where I was able to do that for my family. And grow with that. The next thing that I got to do, which I'm super grateful for, I got to go to the beach. The big Kahuna made it to the beach finally. It's been a little while since we've been there. Me and my wife went to Hawaii a couple times, and that's kind of where the big Kahuna was born. And maybe I'll do an episode talking about my past and how I actually became the big Kahuna and who I am. So maybe that'll be episode 2, Kahuna Korner episode 2. Where the Kahuna comes from. So, Dominican was great. There was a lot of controversy, as we all know, with the deaths and everything like that. People were freaking out, and my sister, who never calls me, we always text and everything like that. She actually took a moment to call me last year. And are you really sure that you want to go to the Dominican? Are you sure? She had some emotional losses in her family, and she didn't want to risk losing her brother and going through all that. But having been there previously with my wife, we knew the safety was there. We actually got to go with a couple friends, which, if you haven't been to the Dominican, highly recommend going. I can give you a bunch of tips and tricks. But going with somebody, it was wonderful the first year that we went. Just me and Kim, and we got to spend some time together, which we desperately needed, being married for 15 years now and being together for 16 almost. It was great, but we saw the potential where we were able to bring friends along the next year, and it was a blast. I can't say enough cool things. The Dominican people are amazing, but first and foremost, the big Kahuna got to go to the beach and enjoy life for a little while. So those are 2 of the major things that I got to do. Another bucket list item that came off my list in the last 2 years, and I'm really just talking about the last 2 years of just growth and what's happened. I was fortunate enough to win a trip to Wyoming, of all places. And you wouldn't think, the big Kahuna and everything like that, but there truly is a soft spot in my heart for the mountains and for just being up in Wyoming and Yellowstone and Idaho and Utah. And you may or may not know from me, but again, not getting into too much detail in it, but I spent many years before getting into residential real estate working with student housing, and I spent a big chunk of my time in Idaho and Utah doing properties for BYU. So that was super fun, and we enjoyed that on there. So anyway, like I said, we made some great new friends, a lot of new partners, and I am so grateful for all of you to be part of my life, and I'm so grateful for everybody to, hopefully you're all watching this video right now, and I can express my gratitude to you, because I know that's one thing that's really big in the real estate industry, and I firmly believe that. I show my gratitude to not just my clients, not just to my family, but just to friends in general. I have people I call partners in the industry that I know I'm never going to do a deal with, and I'm okay with that. I'm just happy knowing them and being able to have that conversation with, hey, I'm seeing this really weird thing in the market. What do you think? And being able to bounce that off. So, I never want to be, I learned early on that you don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, I think you're in the wrong room. There's always something to learn from somebody. And so we continue to do that. Again, it's not always learning something new, but it's learning what not to do in a lot of ways. And I think in real estate, I think we have a lot of that. I think there's a lot of really bad people to know and a lot of bad realtors out there. But I believe in my heart that I'm one of the good ones, and we're going to do a lot of fun stuff. So anyway, I know this video is getting a little long, and it's going to always be long. I'm breaking one of those rules, how they always say that, when you take all these marketing classes, and they're like, well, 30 seconds, that's a marketing video. Well, I'm going to still do those videos, and I know you saw those a lot towards the end of last year. There's a lot of those just quick little bursts of advice and everything like that. And I'm going to continue to do those, but what I really want to do, and this has really been an idea that I've had for a long time, having the Kahuna Korner, and you can see we're a little set up for it. This is gonna change a little bit in how we do things. I want to get some people in here, and we're gonna talk and interview each other, and we're gonna take this on the road. But I want to start coming at you a lot more. I want to be seen. I want to be known. I just want to be part of your life and something you look forward to. Weekly, monthly, whatever I can do. My goal would be to do some sort of a big video weekly to try to get on things. But anyway, like we said, so talking about the future of Big Kahuna. It's me. I am the Big Kahuna. You're going to see my big smiling face. One of the things on there, I just said to myself, and that's kind of why I started smiling. I said, my big smiling face, my big self. So one of my big hits this year for 2020, the Roaring 20s, I want to get healthier. You know me from, work, you know me from personal life. You know that I'm always about having a good time and always smiling. I don't count calories. I don't worry about what I'm drinking. I don't worry about overall what I'm putting in my body. I don't go crazy on it, but at the same time, if I want that cheeseburger, I'm going to go get that cheeseburger. If I want that beer, which you guys know me, craft beer is my absolute favorite thing on earth, which I'm sure that's going to make it onto the video a lot of time, but, I don't question if somebody calls me and say, hey, let's go grab a beer. You know what? I know a great place. Let's go here and do that. So overall, I'm going to still be the Big Kahuna. I don't ever want to be the skinny Kahuna, the mini Kahuna, the tiny Kahuna. I'm not that guy. I think you all know that guy. My pictures from younger, and I know we post some flashbacks and stuff, but I'm the Big Kahuna I'm going to be, but I'm just going to be a healthier version of the Big Kahuna for you guys. So that's definitely one of my big things for this year, and I know everyone talks about it, but I intentionally have waited beyond January because everyone goes, new year, new me, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do that. Well, I am going to do that. I do have the ability to do it. And for some of you that know, I actually used to be very, very much in shape. I used to work out 2 to 3 times a day. I took it very seriously, personal trainers, to the point where I was helping other people and training them. So I know I can do it. A few years back, I started getting into that process. I lost probably about 30 pounds in a very quick time. But then I hurt my back, and that was kind of my excuse for myself to never get back to it. So there's that one. So one of the next things that I'm doing, and I'm super proud of it, and I have actually stuck to it so far this year. It actually all started, funny enough, this whole thing started to Tammy McCall. It's her fault. I'm going to blame her for my addiction. But the truth is, my father's a barbecue judge. I've grown up with, stuff on the grill and stuff on that my whole life. It's always been a passion of mine. I've enjoyed going over to my friend Al's house and smoking on there. But it finally, Tammy McCall, if you're watching this, Tammy, I hope you are. It's your fault, and I'm going to blame you, but it's a good thing. She was talking about, we met right before Thanksgiving, and we were talking about, I got to find somewhere to get a turkey. You know where I can get a turkey? You know what, Tammy? I can smoke you a turkey. And it forced me to pull the trigger and do what I wanted to do, and get my smoker and get that. So I'm sure if you're following me on Facebook or anything like that, you're watching what I call the year of smoke. 2020 is going to be the year of smoke for the Big Kahuna. I plan on doing hopefully somewhere around 52 weeks in a year, 52 smokes for the year. I'm not probably going to make 52, but I have a feeling I'm going to be at least in the 40s on how many smokes I've done. I mean, I've lost track, actually. I'd have to go back and count what I've done here, but I'm probably 10 in for the year just since the 1st of January. But going back to Tammy, I smoked her a turkey. I don't know if it was my best one ever, but I know it came out really good. And then the next day, I actually got to smoke one for my family, and I know that was phenomenal. Mine was slightly different than hers just because I know what my family can tolerate, so I did hers a little more safe with my spices and everything like that. So on that note, thank you, Tammy, for getting me started on that. 2 days in a row, she was able to bring me my special beer, my favorite beer of all time, which came from the Dominican, called Presidente beer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it's a phenomenal beer. And I tell you what, it literally invoked tears the day that I cracked it open, because it brought back all those memories of being with my wife and being with my friends and doing all that at the Dominican. So Year of Smoke, keep following me for that. I don't know what I'm going to be smoking this weekend, but definitely tune in. There is something big coming with the Year of Smoke, and there's actually a reason that I bring that up. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be something really neat. A few of you already know what's going to happen with this, but we're going to have a lot of fun. So the next thing I'm going to do goes back kind of the healthier thing. My neighbors, who I was actually fortunate enough to sell them their home, he's really into yard maintenance, and so it's been kind of a competition where we've been working on lawns together and stuff like that. And so I'm actually taking this on myself this year, and I'm going to start mowing. I'm going to start edging. I'm going to start doing that. I am going to go sweat. And the funny thing is, if you know me, it's one of the things I absolutely hate in this world is mowing and edging and weed eating and just being out in the lawn. I'd rather pay somebody to do it, but for me, I want to do something fun. I want to get healthier, and so being able to go outside and sweat, as well as probably have a nice healthy green lawn, and maybe I can compete and I can whoop them and and have a nice green lawn. So Clint, if you're watching, I'm coming for your green lawn. So the other stuff I want to do is just going to be just everything we talk about, showing gratitude. I definitely want to do a little bit of charity work this year. Not too much, just because I know I don't have a lot of time, but if I have an opportunity, or if you have an opportunity, whether it be as simple as a donation or if it means getting involved, please reach out to me, tag me in it on Facebook, anything you do, email me, text me, whatever on there. So we do have some preferred ones that we work with. I do a lot with veterans and all that, so I absolutely love that. I think last night was Veterans Night at the rodeo, which is super cool. Sad I missed it, but it's a really cool thing. So the next thing you guys may know, I drive a Woody. I have a Ford Flex that I've wrapped like a Woody. We have a surfboard for it on top. You can see it right over here. So we're going to do some more stuff with that. I want to get that be seen, and we're going to hopefully get in some car clubs and get in with that, because that's kind of the next phase of my life once I achieve my goals. My next big goal after everything I get through this year is to start going back and doing classic cars and redoing them and getting them ready for their next owners, but as well as just for me, because you could ask my wife, the time I was most happy in my life, I had a 1978 GMC 4x4 truck that was rusted out. I had that in college, and that's what I met her in. And it's just, I'm the happiest guy. You can fix anything with a couple sockets and a couple wrenches, and I love doing that. So that's my next fun thing on there. So you've heard me say a couple times, it is the Roaring 20s again. I know you've seen a bunch of stuff, and there's a bunch of Gatsby things going on. So hopefully we can incorporate some of that into marketing and just having a lot of fun with that. So glad to be back in the Roaring 20s, and we're going to continue that excitement. Next week, spring break, we're going to have the kids, but oddly enough, spring break is usually one of my, I'm looking at the calendar, it usually is one of my slowest weeks of the year. I think a lot of people try to take it off, but so far, I've got appointments now 3 of the 5 days, and they're all day appointments. So we're going to be doing that. The following week, I actually already have an appointment the following Monday. So it's becoming a busy point of the year. I know everyone's kind of getting shaky and afraid of, coronavirus and doing all these things, but I promise you it's not there, especially now with the Fed's rate cut. We're rocking and rolling. Rates in under 3%. I just shared something recently from Chris Kelso. If you want to know about it, go check out my page. But for a 15-year loan, you can get under 2.99, 2.95, I think is what he was projecting. But even on a normal loan, you're still at 3.45. So personally, on my house, I've got a lot more than that. So I'm just drooling at what my payment would be if I was at 3.45. So anyway, never a bad time to buy. Right now it's time to do it as prices go up. I did hear 2 of my builder partners, they're getting an increase. I think it started this week, in fact. So get in as fast as possible. St. Patty's Day is the following week, like we talked about on the 17th. So let's have some fun there. Let's get some beer. I know I'm going to say that. Who knew, right? So we're kind of winding down the video on here. I want to leave you with some home tips. So it is March. It's March 5th, in fact, at this point. So your sprinklers should be on. We're past all the freezes. So get those unwinterized, get them tested, get them working. If you need recommendations for any repairs, say it did freeze. I don't think we ever got really that cold, but if for some reason you have some issues, I do have some really great partners that I can refer you to get those fixed at a reasonable cost. Likewise with that, time to fertilize and weed and feed and do all that. You should already be doing it. I know I just did mine this weekend. Advice. After you weed and feed, after you put it down, you need to water. If you don't, you're going to burn the lawn. It's going to be bad. Just asked one of my friends. He put it out and he didn't water. So what do you think happened to his lawn? It definitely burned it and had some problems. But in his defense, he's not originally from America, and I think that's a new concept to him of all the stuff us Americans do. So I'm sure you know who I'm talking about at that point. The other thing of it is starting to get green, blue skies. I'm looking at the blue sky right now. Mulch. Again, I've got a good referral partner for that, but it is time to get some mulch on those plant beds as we're going to start watering and things are going to start coming alive. So let's get that done. Likewise, I personally have to do it. If you're going to move any big plants, any big trees, anything like that, right now is the time to do it so they don't get shocked with the heat this summer. I personally have a magnolia tree that I need to get moved, and I'm dropping the ball. I should have already done it, but we're going to get that moved right now. And put some more mulch around it, but it's blocking the driveway. They put it in an odd space, and out of all the magnolia trees in my yard, that one is the one that's growing, and that's the one that's just flourishing. So we need to put it in a nicer spot so it's going to look good. I've got a big side yard, so it's going to block some of the fence look on there as well. So again, time to get that stuff going. Also, springtime. ACs, get those services. I know I've got mine set to be serviced in April just before we get into the busy time. And make sure your air filters are changed, which I know it's time for me to do mine. We have a big media filter, so I do it every 6 months. So maybe I can get my friend Daniel to do a fun little video about that on how to change your media filters and change your regular filters. So Daniel, if you're watching, let's get this done. I enjoy your videos. He does an awesome one that I share every year about winterizing sprinklers. So maybe we need to get a do one that unwinterizes and then does that. So maybe like a spring launch. Maybe we'll talk to him about that. But if you have any topics or anything that you want me to address, any questions you have, anything that you just think it would be funny to hear me rant about, because that's what these videos are going to be. You can see I've gone from just saying hello to talking about my family to Disney to topics of the lawn and everything like that. This video is really going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be what we make it. And any comments, any questions, anything like that, let's bring it up, because I want to tie everything into my personal life as well as my work life, as well as helping others with homes or personal lives as well. So call me, text me, email, Facebook, tweet, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you want to do. I'm available in any which way. Wave me down on the street. A lot of people, when I'm driving around in the woody, they'll stop me at the gas station. Man, I really love that. I've got kids leaning out the window at the drive-through at Cane's. My mom drives a Flex, and she's always wanted to do that. Well, can I snap a photo? Yeah, you sure can. Send it to your mom. It's guiltless marketing, but at the same time, you guys know where I'm at. I stand out in the crowd, so find me. Let's have a chat. But other than that, guys, it's been an honor. 2020 is going to be fantastic, and let's make it a great year. I know we're definitely going to enjoy everything we do, and I know with your help, with your support, and just everyone's positivity, we're going to have a great year. So call me, text me, and other than that, aloha. Have a fantastic day, guys.